A lot can happen in a week. Some of it good, some of it bad, some of it downright ugly. When faced with intriguing developments in the week's news, we turn to a rotating panel of non-experts to parse the good, the bad, and the ugly of it all. On today's panel, Lisa Falkenberg, senior columnist at the Houston Chronicle, Marco Roberts, chairman of the Texas Conservative Liberty Forum, and Vivian Ho, health economist at Rice University and Baylor College of Medicine. Lisa, Marco, Vivian, welcome to Houston Matters.
Thanks, Craig.
Glad to be
Hi,
here.
Craig.
Panel, AI may not be the panacea it's purported to be in the workplace, at least if a recent study is any indicator. A new National Bureau of Economic Research working paper linking AI use to corporate records finds, quote, AI chatbots have had no significant impact on earnings or recorded hours in any occupation, and that, quote, modest productivity gains combined with weak wage pass-through leads to limited labor market effects due to generative AI. Okay, so the authors of the paper from the University of Chicago and University of Copenhagen find, based on business records from Denmark, that employees using AI tools saved on average 3% of their time. How did they use those precious extra minutes? By working more. Did that increased workload lead to more money? For more than 90% of employees, no, it did not. So according to the study, AI tools are saving a small amount of time, allowing workers to get paid roughly the same to do more work. Is this good, bad, or ugly? Lisa.
Well, I'm not sure on this one. I guess, bad. But I need Vivian or somebody to explain to me how we thought that we would get paid more via AI. I mean, isn't the main point efficiency? You get paid more if you yourself as a human are doing better work, I would think. More, better, whatever. But if the employers are implementing AI, they know that there's that assist there. So why would they pay you more for that? But anyway, and it also doesn't surprise me. I mean, this thing is still kind of an idiot. I mean, you have to check everything it's doing. And I've experimented a bit with it. I mean, I don't want readers to get scared. I'm not, it's not writing my columns or anything, but I experimented a few times, like write this in the voice of Lisa Falkenberg on this issue, making these points. And I find it interesting what it's come up with. But like one of the pieces it wrote didn't even know Trump was president yet, thought he was still running. And so it's not something you can trust. So you're still having to dedicate the time to go back and check the accuracy. It's fun to play with, but in my field at least, I don't think that we're getting the assist that could really make our jobs easier or faster, more efficient, or produce more quality work.
All right. Good, bad, or ugly? Vivian.
I agree a lot with Lisa, and she had some really good points. I had the advantage that I could download the paper, and I didn't read all of it, but, it looked at 11 different occupations, things like accountant, customer service specialist, teacher. And so it doesn't surprise me, when you use these things, I don't find them very useful in terms of making my lectures any easier to prepare or write papers any better. I think they didn't ask the question everyone wants to know, though. They could have surveyed the employers and asked the employer, would you use AI to replace these workers? And that's the question that everyone is concerned about. So you don't care what's going to happen to the earnings of the current workers. You care, are those workers going to be there in 5 years?
All right. Good, bad, or ugly? Marco.
It's really none of these things right now because I think it's too early to tell. So I decided to ask ChatGPT what it thought about this question. And it gave me this very nice write-up with a bunch of bullet points. It was fantastic. Told me about the pluses and minuses. It even explained why it's not having the effect today. It was great. Unfortunately, human error intervened, and I didn't bring the printout. So that was all wasted effort. It was so...
Because your human brain cannot remember what was...
Well, yes, exactly. So I even went ahead and asked it, is this good, bad, or ugly? And it gave me an answer. And it said, well, here's the good, here's the bad, here's the ugly. And it was very reasonable. And it even gave me a final take. I wish I could remember what it was. I don't remember what it was. So now I'm having to use my organic intelligence, right? So kids, you can't always rely on AI. Sometimes you're going to have to use your own brain. But I thought, what happened to other technologies, right? And so I thought, what happened with the airplane? And it turns out that with the airplane, from the 1914 was the first commercial attempt, but it wasn't until 1939 that an actual profit started being made from commercial airlines. And in fact, that first attempt only lasted 4 months. They closed it down. It wasn't making any money. And then many more years passed before they did it again. I think AI is one of those things where it's still going to be worked out. And I also agree with Lisa. I test it every once in a while. I ask it questions that I know the answer to see what it's going to say. And sometimes it's not quite accurate, right? So you do have to check the notations. But I do find it, like, it saves me time sometimes when I'm in a hurry and I don't have time to do a lot of research. It can give me a gist of something, like what's going on right now. So I think it's a developing story. It is going to be more impactful on our lives. I think there's no question about it. I think the overall picture is good for us because we've always benefited from technological advancement, just like from airplanes. But for now, yeah, I think it's a nothing burger. There's not much happening yet.
The one area I found, actually, I want to correct myself. The one area I found that's really useful is in transcriptions when I'm doing interviews. But I have this device that I just love and I use a lot. And it also has a feature where it will summarize a meeting or an interview. And it keeps telling me my question asking isn't very good. And I've been doing this for a while, so I'm not specific enough in my question asking. So I don't think it quite understands the psychology sometimes of why you would ask a very open question.
Well, it's interesting that you say that because when I asked it about the airplanes, it says, and this would be a good way to compare to, so it anticipated what I was trying to do. Mm-hmm. And it says this would be an illustration of the development of technology, how it increases in application over time. So it kind of guessed what I was trying to do.
Yeah.
Panel, less than a month after an admittedly dubious Yelp listicle shut out Houston barbecue joints from its list of favorites, Texas Monthly came to the area's aid this week with its latest list of the 50 best barbecue spots in Texas. 8 greater Houston area restaurants made the cut, and 1, Truth Barbecue in the Heights, cracked the top 10. The others on the list, Brisket and Rice in Pinkertons in Houston, Corkscrew and Rosemeyer Barbecue in Spring, LJ's in Brenham, and Bar, a BBQ, and Jennings and Company in Montgomery. 10 others earned honorable mentions. Where Yelp failed, Texas Monthly succeeds, and Houston barbecue is redeemed. Is this good, bad, or ugly? Marco.
Oh, I think it's good. I mean, honestly, when is it not good to have the best barbecue, or some of the best places in barbecue in Texas? Although I have to say, just to shout out to my partner, Mike. He does make the best brisket in Gulf Gate area, just letting you know. So next time
is he in the rankings?
He should be. I'm just going to tell you. So he should be in the rankings. He does a good, amazing brisket. I would say barbecue is a lot like flowers, It's like it doesn't matter who you are. You could be a French Marxist or far-right Christian pastor. You love barbecue. And you love flowers, right? And it's something that everybody enjoys. We have a host at Airbnb, and sometimes what people ask us about is, where's a good barbecue place when they come to Houston? Everyone likes barbecue. I think it's great that we have these places here in the Houston area. I am actually surprised it's not as many as I would think for such a large. I think it seems to be lower than our proportion of the population, but I'm not going to complain too much. I did notice that Evie Mays was the number 1 and some town that I'd never heard of. So I looked it up. It's near Lubbock. So yeah, no, that's what it said. I thought.
No, Marco, you're stealing the thunder of my hometown, Marco.
Oh no, but
you may be maligning Sigin, I believe.
Oh, is that right? Well,
I think this is great. I love my adopted town of Houston, but man, I'm a small town girl at heart, born and raised in Sigin, Texas. And this year, the number 1 barbecue joint in Texas is Burnt Bean in downtown Seguin, Texas.
Well, that's
so y'all
what I saw on the list.
Get your butts over there. I mean, I disagree with Marco. I think that if the French Marxist is a vegan, the best thing in the world might not be barbecue for him or her. But I think even that person, if they tried burnt bean, they would be converted.
Okay.
So, and it's got the sides. It's got sometimes you walk in there, the meat is good, but you're so underwhelmed by the sides. Any place that can incorporate Big Red into the mix and some kind of dessert or, street corn, something like this, I am a big fan. So yeah, guys, you're really, if you haven't been to Burnt Bean in Seguin, you're missing out.
You kind of stepped onto the tracks as a freight train was rolling through there.
I think I'm going to stay off of it too.
Good, bad, or ugly, Vivian?
I'm thinking I need to find an excuse to go to Sigin.
Oh, you don't need an excuse. It's a fine place to go any old time, right?
That's right.
Yeah, so it seems that it's good because there's so, if you have another list, there's an opportunity to mention more terrific places. Truth Barbecue was in the list, and the problem I have there is they're so popular, I've stopped going because twice I've waited
Okay,
in
Yogi
line
Berra.
yeah, I've waited for 30 minutes twice in line, and one time actually close to an hour, and then I get there, they run out of stuff. So, what's the point in going?
There is a magic formula, isn't there, of wait times quality divided by grief? I don't know what it is.
I do think there's such a thing.
Yeah, and that's so that didn't make it. But I thought the honorable mentions were nice, like J Bar M, which I discovered only because once I wanted to have barbecue and I was heading over here to record. And when you say barbecue near KUHF, you get J Bar M. That's a really good place. Fej's Barbecue. Mm-hmm. So I like these lists. The more the merrier.
I kind of like the economics of barbecue, because in this world where we can have everything on Amazon, where everything can be, delivered, and most places in this country don't just run out of things. You get really bad Yelp reviews for doing that. You may go to Europe and they're like, sorry, we're out. We gave you this other thing. They don't do that here. It's not popular. But barbecue places are among the last ones that could say, no, we're out. We made a certain amount. You weren't here. You didn't want it enough.
True.
And so I know people in my hometown who just, Mom, I'm not talking about you, who don't want to go to Burnt Bean because they have to stand in this line. But I'm saying that's what makes it special in part,
Lisa Falkenberg is a senior columnist at the Houston Chronicle. Marco Roberts is chairman of the Texas Conservative Liberty Forum. And Vivian Ho's a health economist at Rice University and Baylor College of Medicine. Lisa, Marco, Vivian, thank you very much.
Thank you, Craig.